Ni hao, my name is Yiyan Wang, or Wang Yiyan, according to the Chinese custom. I'm professor of Chinese at the School of Languages and Cultures. I teach Chinese language here, but I also teach Chinese history, and I supervise many PhD students on the topics of modern Chinese literature, culture, and modern Chinese intellectual and cultural history.
Konnichiwa. I'm Shin Takashi, lecturer in Japanese in this university. My specialties are modern Japanese and East Asian history.
Why study Asian languages here at university? It is to gain your qualification to become a global citizen. In the 21st century, it is imperative for an educated person to be a global citizen because all countries are increasingly and closely interconnected.
In the 21st century, which some people call the Asia-Pacific century, having the ability to understand languages, cultures, and history of China, Japan, and other parts of Asia is a very important skill.
We're not on our own. New Zealand is a country in the Asia-Pacific region. To effectively engage with our neighbors, we need to be able to speak their languages and to understand as well as appreciating their cultures. Chinese and Japanese are the two major languages of Asia, and these two languages can open many doors for you, not only here in Asia and New Zealand, but also throughout the world.
My name is Jordan. I'm currently majoring in psychology at the university, but I have minors in international relations and Japanese. It's really important to study Asia and its languages, at least from a New Zealand context, in the sense that New Zealand is in the Asia Pacific. If you look at international relations and where a lot of powerhouses are, I think a lot of those are within Asia, and it never hurts to learn a language, especially one that's very different from your own. Many languages within Asia are quite different in language trees and language family-wise than English, so I think it's a good chance for people to expand their skills and do something new.
My name's Cameron Hartley and I study a Bachelor of Arts majoring in Japanese and Linguistics here at Victoria University of Wellington. I think the importance of studying Asia and its languages really comes down to cultural diversity, understanding another culture. Asia can seem like quite a far-off place, but through studying the languages it definitely feels like it becomes a lot closer. I've been to Japan 3 times now, and each time I've had more of a command of the language. Speaking the language has definitely made a difference while I've been over there.
Asia is a vast, diverse, and dynamic region. In the last century, many places in the region, which used to be under the colonial rule, became independent countries. And towards the end of the century, some of the countries in the region became key political and economic players in the world. China and Japan are some of the most remarkable cases in this sense.
These days, if you want to go into profession, be it business or trade, politics or defense, diplomacy or education, whatever is the profession you aspire to enter in the future, knowing an Asian language will take you a step further, will actually enhance your employability greatly.
If we want to understand these regional dynamics, we cannot avoid studying these 2 most influential countries in the region. And for New Zealand, which is also one of the key players in the Asia-Pacific region, having even better understanding of those 2 countries is urgently needed.
I think the main impact brought to me from studying Japanese here at the university is just the sense of community that the course created for me. Japa 300 for me has been a bit of a journey because I learned so much in just a short period of time. And along with me on that journey was both my classmates and the lecturers and tutors which I had for that course.
Along with the language and culture papers, many students enjoy using other facilities, such as library, where you can meet a subject librarian. We also have the Language Learning Center, which offers many sources for students to do self-study, and that is where students can find their language buddies who are native Japanese or Chinese speakers coming to study in Wellington?
I think the Japanese course is interesting in the sense that it's a program that really is what you make out of it. So you can attend lectures and sit there passively and you'll improve slightly. But if you have a passion and you have a drive and you really make use of all the resources around you, I think you can actually attain a level of fluency quite quickly. The teachers are always really accommodating and really friendly. They want to help you achieve your language learning goals, so I think that's really wonderful. At the university, the language courses are a bit smaller, so it's really easy to make friends. There's also a focus on communication, which is really important in building social networks.
It's been really amazing. No other course have I seen has put in quite the amount of social aspect, I feel, as well into the course, not just academic. I feel really safe in the environment that JAPA has created for me. I know everyone in my course and I don't feel bad about making mistakes and trying my best to learn.
Students who study Japanese and Chinese languages come from diverse backgrounds, and they have many different reasons to study those subjects. Some of them chose to study Japanese and Chinese because they are their heritage languages. Some of them want to work or live in those countries in the future. Some are interested in popular cultures and the histories of those countries.
I chose to study Japanese because I lived in Japan when I was 4 to 8 years old, and instead of going to an international school, my parents decided to send me to Japanese school. So ever since then, I've been studying Japanese to keep up my ability.
I chose to study Japanese because after finding a passion for the language and culture in high school, I thought studying it at university was the natural next step. I think for my future it's very important to know how to speak another language.
The Asian Languages and Cultures program at this university offers quality Chinese and Japanese language courses. We ground our students' learning through not only learning the language, but also the study of related Asian cultures, societies, and histories. Our aim is to equip you with the ability to communicate in the Asian language and to provide you with international cultural literacy and intercultural competence.
The university is a really good place to start learning the language, how you learn about the culture of the language, not just the language itself.
By the end of the completion of the program, students will have good language skills enough to read local newspapers in local languages with decent understanding of the local societies.
Being in Wellington, I definitely feel that it has helped me. A small, sort of silly example is that I went to Armageddon since I've been here, and the Japanese embassy had a booth 1 or 2 times there, so I got to talk to a lot of Japanese people, representatives from Japan, and practice my Japanese there. Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, so you get a lot of international travel within Wellington, so you're meeting lots of different types of people, especially people from Asia. And just the international aspect of it, I feel, is a really great resource. You're meeting different people with different attitudes and, of course, different languages. So that's why I would say Wellington is a great place to be.
I think studying in Wellington is pretty interesting. You'll struggle to go down the street without hearing other languages being spoken around you. So it's definitely a really good place if you want to study language. There's lots of opportunities to learn, such as the embassies, different language clubs around town. So I would definitely recommend it.
As the university located in the capital city of New Zealand, Asian Languages and Cultures program has inexhaustible resources to offer for students who want to study Japan, China, and other parts of Asia, both inside and outside of classroom. And we're here to help students to expand and deepen their intellectual curiosity.
We are here to lead you onto a journey of discovery, and we want to help you to find out what's the most exciting, the vibrant societies in Asia and the world today.
我们喜欢汉语，我们喜欢学中文。皆さん、私たちと一緒に日本語を勉強しましょう。待っています。
To enroll in Japanese or Chinese language courses, you can start from scratch in the 100 level, or if you're continuing from school, you can enter in the 200 level. You can study both languages and culture courses together. Asian culture courses are offered from the 100 level. Courses that specifically focus on Chinese or Japanese culture, history, and literature are offered from the 200 level. There are also various study abroad opportunities at universities in China, Japan, and South Korea. In addition to a major in this area, you can develop into postgraduate studies, study within the School of Business and Government, or you can enter various job markets. To find out more, visit the university website.